Hello, and welcome back to Gears. I will be introducing these from here on. I don't care who recorded it.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought me and Liz were kind of helming this playthrough, kind of.
I mean, you are, but
No.
I don't care.
Oh.
Well, don't you see? I mean, the studio execs decided that it was time for a broader face, a more welcoming face, aka a female face.
Oh, really?
Because Lord knows, it don't matter how bad a character is, so long as they're female, you better respect them or you're sexist.
That's the interesting thing. I never thought of Kait in the Gears 4 as a bad character, just a whatever character, because she does nothing in that game, and she has done nothing up until this point either in this game.
Well, basically, Pedro, now we get to see what would happen if a whatever character was shoved into the spotlight without having good writing, like, say, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong here. There have been plenty of amazing female characters who have taken the spotlight, been moved up here and there. But Kait is unfortunately one of those bad examples here. You know, stuff like the Terminator Dark Fates, the Ghostbusters 2016s is. The kind of examples that really just make you wonder, are you trying to make me hate these characters? Like, they're the characters who will be brash and in your face without there being any good story reasons for that. They are the kind of characters who will kick you down and call you names, but you're supposed to respect them because my female power.
That's one thing I've noticed, actually, just real quick. One thing I've noticed, the bad female characters always tend to be those ones that are really mean for no reason.
Yeah, basically.
Look, here's the issue with Kait as a protagonist. Like a lot of cases when people try to big up a female protagonist, they A, downgrade other protagonists to make that protagonist look better. B, make that protagonist sometimes come off as unintentionally terrible, but we're always supposed to agree with her. And C, they tend to pull out all the retcons to help her.
One of the big problems as well. One of the big problems as well is that in Gears 4, they didn't even bother to really flesh out Kait's character at all. I mean, yeah, she was after saving her mom, but they didn't really do anything with her character specifically. And they didn't really do anything with her either in the first act of this game. So this abrupt change in protagonist just feels forced. Like, it doesn't. I mean, and again, don't get me wrong, everybody. I am aware of what Act 2's story is. I'm aware of that. Obviously, I'm the one who played this, for crying out loud. But it's just that, okay, you wanted to tell this particular story that revolves around Kait. You could have integrated this in a way that felt less forced, because we suddenly are playing as Kait, like with not even a proper transition. But go ahead.
Here's what I would have done. Why not let it be an ensemble story? You know, I mean, the Gears games were kind of like that anyway. I mean, sure, yeah, Mark is the guy at the forefront, but each of you know, your squad did get pretty much their own big times to shine, especially by. Once again, it's one sole protagonist who's at the lead of everything. Yes, I know that certain other characters do technically get their moments in this game, but okay, it's kind of like with Ghostbusters 2016, where you can tell that the focus was on it because it's female. Like, anyone could have said the easiest thing to do with Ghostbusters 2016 would have been to have just split it down the middle, have it be part male, part female. But you know what? There was no problem with them having it be all female. The problem was that they kept shoving it in our faces. And yeah, I get it. Sometimes some anvils need to be dropped, but it was terrible to the point where they were conflating it.
Allow me to support Jov on this point. Like, let's look at Gears of War 3. In Gears of War 3, we start with Marcus. And then later, there's an entire chapter, well, not entire chapter, like there's a couple chapters where we play as Cole, right? Why? Because that particular part of the story revolves around Cole, specifically his return to the time where to his previous job before he was a gear, aka a fresh ball player. As a result, it makes sense to have him there, and we knew right from the beginning, even before we cut to Cole, that Cole was on a mission with the other gears to do something specifically that was necessary. As a result, it made sense that we would cut so we can see the events of the first couple acts through Cole's perspective, so we know exactly how one thing led to another, so we can see exactly how the two storylines intersect at the end of Act 1. Not to mention, Cole was already an established character that had already been given a personality proper in the previous games anyway. Whereas with Kait, the writers didn't really do enough to really warrant and earn an entire act dedicated to her, much less the rest of this entire game. Yes, because we're not going to go back to JD, by the way. JD is done. So...
Except for, that one bit, but yeah, otherwise, okay, let me put it like this. You know how we didn't really like Apologistus. Let's just say this. Imagine if the way Trials and Tribulations went was you have, the first case as Phoenix, and then immediately you're playing as Apollo. You don't know why. You don't know why you're supposed to care. But
didn't that technically happen in Trials and Tribulations where they played the first case as Mia?
Here's the difference. Mia was a character that we definitely cared about. She was Phoenix's flipping mentor.
I know. I'm just saying. It's just that did happen.
Yeah, by the time Trials and Tribulations happened, the series had earned the right to do something like that with Mia.
Yeah, there's definitely difference in the context. You could argue that they did it. My point is with Kim or Kait or God, the character is so memorable I can't even remember her name all the time.
Voiced by Laura Bailey, if that helps you.
Again, with Kait here. Okay, so Kait is technically a character we know, but not a character that we know about to suddenly get why we should care or be playing as her. I guess you could say there's the whole, the revelation that we got at the end of Gears 4. But even still, that's not something that necessarily makes her the main character all of a sudden. That just means that, one of our characters is suddenly tied to this here and there.
I want to address...
she should be an important character, just not the main character.
Yeah.
To go back to what you were saying about Ghostbusters 2016, the problem wasn't that they were all females. That was just what the advertisements and the media was trying to make you come off as. The problem was the movie was not funny, not interesting, and
it was boring.
Terrible movie.
We had a whole commentary to point it out. It's like I said.
I doubt that D bootsy it.
Okay. It's like I said, the cast that they chose could have been funny. All four of those actresses definitely have been funny before in other things. So, again, even it being all-female was never going to be a problem. That godforsaken idea to make an all-female version of Lord of the Flies, which got canceled because Hollywood saw some amount of...
As the walls crashed down and was lonely stood at all the major. Basically, I'm a kids thing that was made to give kids something to be distracted about, considering the terrible times we live in currently. So that's nice.
But yeah, Dad, so what you said does bring me back to this in a good tangent here. So yeah, making Kait suddenly the main protagonist is a very odd move, but it didn't have to be a bad move. They could have done stuff to make it work. But as for the execution...
Well, don't worry, everybody. Me and Jova will be able to properly demonstrate what we mean by the end of this part anyway. So...
And one more thing. Here's a...
Also, wait, Joe, what do you mean cancelled? When it's being cancelled, they made the film. It's called Lady World.
What? Oh,
the film, take on Lord of the Flies. It's called Lady World.
Okay, basically, Dweebs, there was essentially going to be a literal adaptation of Lord of the Flies, but instead of it being all boys, it was going to be all girls.
It's the
Anyone
primary...
who's read that book can pretty much tell you why that doesn't work. Lord of the Flies is supposed to be about the influences of toxic masculinity, so trying to make an all-female version of that completely defeats the purpose.
Allow me to use a different Microsoft IP, Halo, as an example. Master Chief, who, despite being a faceless protagonist, based on what we know that the games have told us, he's apparently male. His voice sounds male, and the games have never confirmed it. But everything from Halo 1 up until
isn't his name John?
Yes. Well, keep it. That's the thing that I'm talking about. What I do know, by all means. So it's confirmed. Okay, sorry. Okay, okay, fine. So it's confirmed. Fine. And he was replaced with Locke in Halo 5, who is also a male character. And guess what? Fans hated that. It had absolutely nothing to do with the gender of the character. It had to do with the fact that that character was nothing but a stupid new character that was just put there in the place of the actual character that we actually wanted to play as.
Not only that, once again, in a similar case with Kait, well, they essentially made Master Chief the villain, supposedly to bolster Locke, saying, no, you see, Locke's going to be the true hero. Master Chief is a fallen hero now. Gee, what a shock.
So basically
Fans
they
really
pulled the
hated
DMC 4 at the beginning.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, DMC 4 was a bit rough at start. Thankfully, later editions of that game cleaned it up. But, yeah, again, I really don't get companies who think that, oh, the best way to get our new character to be loved by fans alike is by crapping on our old iconic characters.
Yeah, that's the main problem I have. The way they do it is they literally put JD in a position where now he's basically seen as the bad guy by the other characters. You know, that's what I don't like about that ending of Act 1.
Oh. This sort of stuff only works if people didn't like the original character. Oh god, these.
That's foreshadowing for later.
It's a vision.
Holy crap, we've been here for 12 minutes and there's no gun shooting.
Well, this is supposed to be a more quiet moment. Okay. And to the credit, here's the thing, that for as much as people like to talk about the Gears series as a series that is nothing but loud bang, 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 if you actually play the games as I have, there's actually, in the original trilogy specifically, there's actually a lot of more quiet character moments that actually do add weight to the procedure.
I'm just shocked.
You know what this quiet moment also let you do? Walk normally instead of forcing your movement to a slow pace, like many modern games do.
Well, it's one of those cases that you should just you should do what I do and just play the games yourself instead of trusting on word of mouth, basically.
No, seriously, I don't understand this kind of behavior. In order to make the experience more immersive, you had these particular moments where even if you tilt the analog stick as much as you can, your character will not decide to move his or her ass, you know.
To be fair, there's a run button, as you just saw. There you go.
Oh, well, I didn't see you using until now. Whatever.
But yeah, okay, but yeah, moments like these are decent here and there. And you know what? Like Pedro said, even in the original tree, they had a lot of quiet moments. Special mention goes to the haunted hospital section in Gears 2, which is definitely creepy and probably the closest the series has come to being.
Well, you end up shooting something. I think Joe, I think Dej and Pedro are talking more about something akin to this.
Well, Teo, there are still mainly quiet moments in that haunted
not just that, Teo. Gears of War 3 literally starts with a section that's like this, where you're just walking like this.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. I think Jova just used a bad example.
Well, whatever. The point is, let me actually get back to this. Basically, you're probably wondering, why did Kait go all the way out to this village? What business does she have in this village? Well, Teo, we're finally going to address one of your concerns from Gears 4. That's all I'll say for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Teo, I don't think you're gonna like what happens at the end of this chapter, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, Marcus doesn't die, so that's a start.
No, not him, but.
We're looking for the chief. Old guy, smells like beer. You seen him?
It's he. It's me. There you go.
There you go. Kate's uncle. Oscar.
Hey, Oscar.
So yeah, ever since what happened in Gears 4, he's retired. He's become an hermit in this village, basically.
Guess they thought you'd hear me out.
And what do you think?
I think you need a new decorator.
It's fine.
Dracula would probably like it.
How's that working out for you?
Nah, not too well. It's good to see you again, Kait.
Aww.
Now go pack up. You're leaving.
Yeah, basically they're trying to get all of the humans together to join up so we can all fight the locusts together.
We have to finish the fight.
It's time to fight these things together.
Well, to be fair, the whole theme of the entire series is coming together to fight a greater evil. So it makes sense for her to be doing this anyway. To be fair.
My mother's dead because she thought we could make it alone. So go ahead, send us away. But if you do, I'll be back to bury whatever's left of you and the people behind these walls. And I think you know it.
Kate, I think you probably could have phrased that a bit nicer.
That's still reality, though.
How often do they attack?
Lately, every day.
They do that every day?
No, they don't. Come on.
Although I have to, there's one thing I can praise this game compared to the last game that you dragged me on. At least the color palette, the lighting and colors are.
I think the
better
last game you
than
were in with us
Recruitment.
was the Battleship video game.
So yeah.
no, I'm talking about Gears 4.
He's talking about Gears 4 too. He was
I don't remember you being a guest in that.
He was at one point, actually. Go ahead, Dej.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So visually, at least they stepped up their game and.
Oh no, this game pretty much is a showcase for the Xbox One. Yeah.
And like I said, I do feel like they did a better job balancing out the color palette in this game than in Gears 4.
Sure, I still prefer the way Gears 3 looks, but this is at the very least a step in the right direction.
What about Gears 1 Ultimate Edition, since that's technically, the...
Well, that game was made specifically to adopt the color palette of 3, so it's same thing, basically.
More of them coming in.
So yeah, okay, so to give her credit, at first Kait doesn't seem like a bad new protagonist. Although technically if this is your first time playing, you don't know yet that she's gonna be the new main protagonist. However, if you saw basically as...
Yeah, we've seen the ads.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was about to say. If you saw so much as a single trailer, you pretty much knew that that's how it's gonna go. It's like, I don't get companies that do this. Like, why even bother making it a surprise in the game? And yeah, sure, yeah, maybe later there will be people who haven't played and will be surprised, but considering how you usually try and get the core audience to get these at launch or something, look, I'm not saying not to show any details, but maybe not show something that's obviously supposed to be a big surprise.
Maybe
or don't make it a surprise in the first place and let us play with her from the beginning.
This'll work.
That too. But yeah, story-wise, Kait is not bad at this point. Like, again, you probably are wondering why I'm not fond of her. Trust me, those reasons have not become apparent.
The problems will become apparent at the end of this section. And me and Jove in particular have been constantly joking about that particular line of dialogue that she says at the end of this part.
Let's just say this, I might actually like Elise better than her.
Who?
Princess Elise.
Oh, Princess Elise.
Okay, that's a good segue.
Princess Elise cannot defend herself for saving her life.
Princess Elise is its own can of worms. Different.
Hold on. Let me put it like this, Jova. If they were to bring her back and say the ITW comics and she reinvents her, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I'd be fine with it. Honestly...
That would be like a Visual Sheep scenario, though. She's like the character in name only at that point.
Well, no. Okay.
No. You can take the aspects of her that makes her, but make her characterization better to suit the narrative.
Like, okay, I'll be honest. I do see what they were trying to get with Elise. What I hated was the execution, how she constantly keeps getting kidnapped, makes dumb decisions, and that whole stupid... Oh, she somehow didn't cry for all these years. I feel like if they retooled a lot of this stuff here, you could have a good character without having to necessarily...
Sorry, Pedro, no answer.
Yeah.
So I'm in the opinion that you could have just, like, Chris Fortnite could have been a good character. It's just, like, some of those aspects from him, you could have easily applied to his friends. The whole... you could have just made him a decent guy who has no friends, and his parents are going through relationship issues, so they're not around.
I actually prefer.
That's the thing about
when it comes to Chris and his friends. I actually prefer. I forgot her name. Is that the little girl in the wheelchair? I prefer her. She's a better character.
Yeah, because it's like they knew what to do with her for her appearances. With Chris, it's like they tried to inject 3 different aspects of him that contradict each other easily.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, Judge. I absolutely get what you mean. Like, Chris should have been an easy character to craft. A kid who doesn't have much friends, but then gets a friend in Sonic. And then you could understand why he's so obsessed with keeping Sonic around. The problem
Especially since he changed his life for the better.
Alright, no ability. Shock trap. Jack places a trap to electrify nearby enemies. Basically,
the problem is God.
It's kind of similar to a specific tool that Spider-Man has in Spider-Man 2018.
Oh, is that what we're calling it now?
Well, why not?
Oh, I know. It's just like, well, for some reason, the community seemed to really just love calling it Marvel Spider-Man or Spider-Man PS4.
Well, Marvel Spider-Man is the official title.
Yeah, well, I just call it Spider-Man 2018
because to distinguish it from the 2002 game and from the PS1 game. Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, Dej, it's like you said with Chris, though. The problem with Chris is, like, well, he has no logistic reason to be as obsessed with Sonic as he is. Not only that, but his life is pretty perfect. Sure, his parents are away, but they clearly love him, and they do still make time for him, despite
yeah, because it's like the show kind of made it. The show kind of made it out to be like he has no friends, but yet they show he does. His parents are around for him. But it's like they later after the show, they do. So it's just one of those. You had no idea what to do.
All right, if I remember correctly, we're about to get to a point where we're gonna get what, in my opinion, is the gameplay highlight of the game. So hold on a moment. I think we're almost there.
Ooh, sliced up the butt.
Right in the ass.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay, you know what was the problem with Chris? Like, even as a kid, I never really found Chris relatable. Like, as a kid, I just felt that he would drag down whatever scene he was in, taking screen time away from Sonic. And like, well, as a kid myself, of a certain background, I'm like, wow, this kid pretty much has life all set for him, and he gets to be best friends with Sonic. It's honestly pretty enviable on all accounts here.
It's like the worst isekai protagonist ever, kinda.
So Sonic X is basically an isekai now.
No, but technically speaking, it's an isekai from Sonic's perspective, but in terms of behavior, Chris is the isekai protagonist behavior in a sense that, you know, gets to meet basically the hero everyone wants to meet, and his reaction is sometimes mild complacency.
Oh, dear. Arguably, it really becomes an isekai from Chris's perspective by Season 3, because Chris, as an adult, gets teleported to his friends, and that turns him back into his little kid form.
I heard that they made him a better character.
Yes, they did. But did they have to keep him in the body that everyone really hated after the Season 2 finale? Because, Jesus, Chris. Like, Chris nearly doomed to 2 worlds. I hope that kid did get some therapy after that.
Again, like I would have preferred to focus on Ellen, personally.
Again.
No, okay. My idea is basically you can have all the kids be friends with Sonic and Co. As like each episode they change perspective.
That would have
instead of just focus on that one girl. Because here's the thing, they probably would have made Helen a worse character as a result.
So basically, like Transformers Prime.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could have made it like Transformers. Jesus Christ. Holy crap.
Transformers Prime is such a great show in that regard. Like that's the thing. Transformers Prime is arguably the Bayformers movies, but handled better.
No, yeah, that's basically it. That's why ever since you introduced me to that show, I now see no reason for even caring about the Bayformers movies, because literally everything those movies do, Prime basically makes those movies obsolete in my eyes. Basically.
Well, that's the thing, Pedro. People pretty much agree, because the first Bayformers film that came out after Prime, Transformers 5, was a failure, and that is why Bay eventually just got booted off quietly.
And Bumblebee became a reboot.
Wait, I thought the first movie was Age of Extinction.
No, that's the fourth movie.
No, after Prime.
Oh, after Prime.
What year did Age of Extinction come out?
2011, I think?
No, that was Furry.
Oh, okay,
Dark Side of the Moon.
2014, most likely.
Well, I'm sure.
2014.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. At the very least, like, the first Bayformers film after Transformers Prime aired.
Which is weird, because actually, of the Bayformers movies, Age of Extinction is actually the one that I don't mind, personally. I like
Age of
Extinction. Looking up on this, Transformers Prime aired in 2010. So, like, while the show is airing, we did get Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a point, because part of the reason that Transformers Prime was able to have such a big budget was thanks to the money that the Bayformers films were making at the time.
So basically, it's kind of similar to what's happening with Star Wars now. At Disney, where Jon Favreau makes these crappy Lion King remakes, but as a trade-off, he gets to make his awesome Star Wars content that he makes on his own.
Well, unfortunately, Pedro, we have to remember
more like with Dave Filoni.
We have to remember that the Lion King remake was essentially Jon Favreau's vision.
Oh, I understand that. I don't have to like it though. But
no, absolutely not.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, he makes those movies, but at the very least, as a trade-off, Disney allows him to keep making Mandalorian and other stuff.
But the thing with Transformers Prime is legit my favorite take on the Transformers mythos here, show-wise anyway. But don't get me wrong, Gen 1 still has its classics. And the Armada anime trilogy is pretty neat. And animated was definitely awesome. Had that as a dedicated thing.
What are your thoughts on the 86 movie? The one that actually had Orson Welles, of all people, in the voice cast.
I didn't like that movie. I'm sorry.
Okay. That movie... Okay, I'll be honest. I'm one of the people who considers that movie essentially an elongated episode of the Gen 1 series.
Because when you get down to it, after Optimus Prime, nothing really... No, after Optimus dies and Megatron becomes Galvatron and kills Starscream, nothing happens throughout the movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing people remember about that movie, the fact that Optimus Prime dies in it.
And man, that was a sad...
Prime.
Well, okay. To be fair, a lot of Autobots freaking died in that movie.
They kill Wheeljack, the bastards.
They kill Wheeljack, Ironhide.
All right.
Damn,
this sequence goes on for longer than I remember.
It was mostly because there was the new enemy type which possessed a turret for some reason.
But bringing this back around to Gears here, I guess in a way, Kait does really feel like what would happen. And I know the joke that it is technically what happened.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And it got ruined by the enemy clipping.
That's a thing that's been around since the first game. Yeah. Basically, the Lancer Dej is a trademark weapon of the Gears series, and it's both a weapon and a saw. And if two saws clash together, you have a mashing duel, and it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, and she has a machine following her that helps her.
That's
She's Sonya Blade.
That's Jack. Basically, Deji, Jack is the C-3PO of the series, basically.
Oh, goody.
That sounds like a bad thing.
Oh, sorry, not C-3PO. Sorry, R2-D2. Sorry,
yeah. It's about to be like C-3PO is kind of useless.
No, R2-D2. His noises are even very similar to R2-D2's. It's clearly inspired by R2-D2.
But yeah, bringing this back here to connect this to our talk about the Sonic X series here. Am I the one who finds it weird how what a lot of people consider to be the worst Sonic human characters look like Kingdom Hearts characters? Like, seriously, Chris looks like a younger Sora.
Well, that's just because
at least looks like an older Kyrie.
Someone kick him out the call the party.
well, Joe, but that's just because anime, you know, like there's gonna be, you know.
I know, but it's uncanny though.
I will argue. You have more of an argument with Princess Elise than Chris. I don't really see how Chris.
More like Ash.
Yeah. Chris doesn't really look like Sora in any meaningful way, to be honest. Like, I can see Elise as Kairi, not so much.
No. They kind of do, especially that one Flash show or called Sonic GX, where they use they use Sora's Chain of Memory sprite for Chris. I was like, oh god.
Like seriously. Look at Sora, and let's be fair, like young Sora next to Chris. Yeah, they look very similar. Chris has the same hairdo, a similar facial structure, maybe a bit of a different body structure because he doesn't have giant feet like Sora, but otherwise they look similar. Hell, there's even a comic where Sonic pretty much states that he'd rather hang out with Sora than Chris. And like, they look similar enough, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Basically, the people in this village don't like the COG, which is why they've separated themselves from them.
Community like the one that was in 4.
Yeah.
And again, like Kait, okay, I will give Kait this. She does acknowledge that her mother was kind of wrong with the community idea. I mean, granted, that doesn't excuse the fact that the COG were literally kidnapping children in Gears 4, but hey, water under the bridge, I guess. But Kait does have a point that her mother's community was a flawed and
not to mention
one from the start.
Not to mention, Jova, as we've already discussed, we have bigger issues at hand right now. So
yeah. Again, so yeah, kudos there for Kait, you know, not doing the dickery and going like, no, my mother was totally right, and you just went against her because you're part of the system. Like, no, she does actually recognize the sins of the father in this case.
So much for the fish.
Alright,
so
we're
again,
almost at that
kind of
point.
Promising for her character so far. But, yeah, seriously, the whole thing with Kait in this is like, well, it really just blindsides you when she suddenly becomes... Ugh.
Well, hold on, Jova. Let's wait till it actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's set right at this moment. Right after I kill all.
Where did Del went?
I think he's behind me. Isn't he? Well, whatever. I'm sure he's fine too. Don't worry. He has AI control. He has AI buddy immunity, so he's fine.
And thankfully, these games operates on the friendly fire turned off.
Well, it wouldn't really make much sense to have it anyway.
Pedro, I've been playing the Resistance games these days. They allowed to have that. So no, it really depends on the developer.
You're playing their Insomniac shooters, right?
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, it's one of those series where if you do shoot one of your members, they just comment about you shooting them as opposed to
sometimes, but again, it's mostly because you're always in the middle of the action there anyway.
Sure. I don't know. I haven't actually played those games, so I can't really comment on that.
You'll see in due time.
Sure. And there's another one.
Okay, we'll have to say, maybe it's because we're seeing up close, but the muzzle flashes for the getting down of his mech look a bit bad.
Alright, let's get out here and help the convoy. Nothing can possibly go wrong now, right?
Sure.
Yeah, knowing this, it probably gets killed Resident Evil style, like mid-through light.
Oh crap, the main gate is... Okay, let's, yeah.
Oh, there's them. There you go.
And lift.
Shit.
Oh.
Great. A snatcher. Alright, and here's where we'll get what is, in my opinion, the highlight point of the game. Gameplay-wise.
Getting snatched.
No, gameplay-wise, Teo, gameplay-wise. Oh! Doesn't that voice sound familiar? Jova Dwibs Entail?
When we get to play as a locust.
Yes, that was Myrna, aka Kate's grandmother, aka the Locust Queen. And yeah,
Wait. The Locust Queen had sex with a guy?
It's complicated. We're gonna explain that later, Dej. Basically, yes, because since Kait is, of course, the successor of the Locust Queen, she can actually control the Locust like Myrna could before her. So yeah, in these bits we can actually the Snatcher is in apparently Myrna's spirit, I guess, because she's talking to us.
Remember, the thing that Marcus said: as soon as you get snatched, you are linked to the mind, linked mind, or something. That's why he got to know the fact that Kate's mother was in the way she was.
There you go. Now we get to control each individual Locust Mook, from the weakest to the strongest.
So is this a thing that happens only now? You can do that multiple times in the game.
No, so I guess are you killing the monsters or are you killing humans?
Monsters. Only now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, only now.
Oh well.
It is a pretty neat segment.
Yeah, it's a nice breath of fresh air, and up until this point in the series, we've only played as Ram in his DLC, so it's nice to get a chance to. Oh, there you go, the strongest Locust Mook, and so it's nice that we get to play as him. There you go.
You should have played some Doom.
The Warden, yes. You know what this means, though, right, guys?
What?
This means that Kait is going to be somewhat responsible for a few of the deaths of these people.
Oh.
Let me guess, this is way heavily on it.
Well, there you go. Oscar. Hello, Oscar. Runaway Oscar? No? Yeah.
Okay.
And before you ask, Teo, no, I have no control over this.
I can imagine.
Alright, and here's the scene that was shown in the E3 2018 trailer.
Oh no.
So basically we brought Oscar back just to kill him.
I get the idea that he probably did some stuff in between games.
No. Kate, you can't see this. You don't want to see this.
It's too gruesome that the developers couldn't render it.
To be fair, you're seeing worse deaths. Why should this cadaver be different?
This one's a bit more
Because he was her uncle.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't really know what to say about that.
Oh boy, this scene.
Alright, and there you go. JD now is bald and has a scar, Sub-Zero style.
And a
What
beard,
happened to his
too.
right arm?
That's the thing, Teo. The game never really goes in depth about it. I'm not entirely sure, but hold on.
It's the same thing that happened to C-3PO.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hey, C-3PO Star Wars could make millions of dollars not explaining shit. We can too.
Well, there you go, Dibs.
Oh, but
Hold on. Well, that's very insensitive of you, JD.
Excuse me?
Here you go.
For months now, I've been having these dreams. Nightmares. But I think they were messages.
Why are you only telling us this now?
Something's happening to me.
It's your grandmother's. Enough. We'll deal with this later. Foz, round these people up. There's a place up north.
Marcus. Okay, I understand.
Oh, on that.
Absolutely not.
You'll go with me.
God damn it, both of you, listen. I'll go with her. Look, if you're missing, Jen will notice. Okay. I'll push Jack the coordinates. No, Corporal. You're coming back to New Ephira. That is a
Here we go.
order.
Well, Captain. Screw your order. This is about you. It's about me.
Hold on. I
love
think
that.
she worded poorly, but I get the idea that
Watch her.
whatever.
No, go ahead too.
No, don't worry.
Symbol. Yeah, so.
I get what you're gonna go with, Tio, but
Okay, what am I gonna go with?
Hold on. Let the scene end first.
Choice.
So yeah, JD basically became a completely different character at this point.
Yeah,
Essentially someone
basically,
who-
I'm an asshole now.
Well, essentially, he's now someone who abides by
Well,
orders.
that's I guess being robbed of this protagonist position has really soured him. Go ahead, Teo. What did you want to say?
It's just us now.
Teo?
Yep. No, it's more the fact that okay, I think I understand what the game is trying to tell. With the idea is that Kait is immediately afraid of this new thing that just happened to her. She's afraid that she might do this thing again, and this time something like Marcus or JD might get killed as a result. So she wants to get this shit right as a result. However, I do believe that it's just badly written, but I think it's only that. It's like that line in between, but it's not like it's a bad plot. It's just badly conveyed.
Okay, I won't spoil whether or not you're right, Tio, but I'll just say this right now. I'm sick of characters who act like dicks to supposedly protect others. Like, here's an idea. Why not calmly explain?
Well, okay, Joe, but I can understand this. I will give this at the very least, but only this, at least for the time being. Because she just witnessed the death of a loved one, and she's clearly not in a state of clear mind. So I can imagine the thought process was like she probably wouldn't, answer like a rational human being. However, if she keeps like that for the rest of the game, I can understand your point.
Oh boy.
To me, my main issue. To me, my main issue with this whole storyline that they have going on is that again, it just further fuels the rift between the group. Which, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't have conflict between the characters. Of course you can, and you should. However, this is, in my opinion, the wrong kind of conflict to have in a franchise whose core story theme is uniting, coming together to face a greater threat. You can have other types of conflict that would allow the characters to do interesting things without resorting to petty reasons for the characters to divide themselves.
We had already started seeing something like that in at least Judgment, but I'm definitely sure there was something already in 3.
In fact, I've got an example actually. Yeah, let's see what would happen if we did that. Jova, I have a confession to make.
Oh no.
I was the one who stole your hot dog 5 years ago.
And then Jova gets super angry.
Whoops.
I mean, it probably.
Jova, you're not acting like modern writers usually write those reactions. Come on, be angry.
Could it be because I'm an actual human being that doesn't
I don't know.
act
Dave seems to be the guy who reacts normally without being too much.
Here's what. Okay. Allow me. Okay, to further help Teo's point, allow me. Okay, here. Okay, if I had. Okay. Assuming that I was a script writer who was stuck with this story, so I have to write a script that makes it convincing. Here's how I would have written that scene. I would, instead of having Kait be the one that has a hissy fit against JD, I would have had Del be the one who say, "What are you doing? She's not she's not. This is not a good time for you to start with your bull crap. Calm down, let her grieve." Something along those lines, and
one of the characters actually did mention something like that to JD, and then he wanted to say something, and then he replied with, "That's a direct order."
Oh, I know, I get that too. That's the point. I think they should have focused even further on that, and have Kait just ignore JD, because, she's way too distraught to even grant him an answer to the crap he just said.
Yeah,
you know?
if anything, it's just that line that she says, the whole "it's about me."
That way, it would be much easier for me as a writer to put the audience on Kate's side, you know, to properly put, because the story clearly wants me right now to hate JD. Clearly, and for as much as I hate what they're doing there, you know what? I'm a script writer. I'm not the story writer, so my hands are tied, right? So, okay, if I have to do this, I have to at the very least try. The problem is that the way this is written, like you yourself said, there, it's badly written. As a result, Teo, it does both. It turns me against JD, and it turns me both against Kait as well. As a result, this is just division for the sake of division at this point. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying every conflict has to have a right side, but this is one of those cases where, like, okay, who am I supposed to actually side with here? Yes, Deji?
I was going to say, was there an attempt to make it out to be like, you're not supposed to root for anybody, but you can understand where each side is coming from?
Oh, so it's like the Civil War. It's like a Civil War comic where Mark Millar was like, both sides are wrong and I hate them.
Unfortunately, Deds, no. It will become clear the game wants you to side with Kait.
Not even just that. Not just that. We'll go into more detail about that for now, everybody. All right. In the next part, we're going to finally get into the meat of the E3 2018 gameplay stuff and turn out the skiff. So let's see how that turns out. See you then.
Yeah.
See you then.
Bye.